This is Diana and welcome to Crafted Sweetly. Are you done with your book folding project? I'll show you how I wrap my books. I want to show you a quick way of how to wrap a book once you're done with the book folding. I always wrap the book after I'm done with the book fold. So this one is not folded, obviously. I just want to show you the process on how to do this. Definitely fold the book first. That way you don't damage the covering if you're trying to do it beforehand. So once you're done with the book folding, if you have a big enough piece of paper, so here's a sheet that I have, and the way I check and see it and make sure that the paper fits, and I'll do it on the reverse so you can actually see what I'm doing, is I'll set the book down on the paper. And what you want to do to make sure that it fits, you obviously need to have a border at the top and at the bottom, and then set it down so you have a border like this on one side. And what I do is I'll pick up the book but not lift it off the book and kind of roll it over and go to the other side. Now if I have enough of a border on this side, then that piece of paper is big enough to use. For this book it's not, so I wanted to show you the technique with the page if it's not big enough. So since I don't have a piece of paper that's large enough, I will take two 12 by 12 pieces of paper, and to determine how much space, because I'll end up gluing these together, so what I need to do is make sure that I leave, it's not this much space or this much space. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the paper so that I have a border on this side, and then as I roll the book again without lifting it off, I'm flipping it over this way, and I want to make sure there's a border on this side of the page, which looks like right about there as far as how much I want. So I'll show you on this side, and I'm holding it in place. I've got a border on this side here. Without picking it up, I'll roll it over, and I have a border on this side as well, as you can see here. So this is how long I want this piece of paper to be. So I'm holding it in place, and then what I'll do is I'll run, go this way actually, I'll lift this up, and then I'm going to put double-sided tape right at the edge here, and then you can do some here just to hold it in place. But notice I'm holding on to this so it does not shift, and you have your paper exactly where it was before. And then I'll flip it and do the same thing on this side. If you find the closer you do this tape to the edge, that way that's the better option. That way it doesn't leave a gap when you're done with it. Okay, so just run your hand. So now I have one big piece of paper. Okay, now the next step for this is to take the book, and again I'm gonna try and see where the center is to this, and if it's not exact, that's okay. I just want to make sure that that portion is right there in the center. So once you figure out where the spine is, I'm going to cut a slit. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll use a pencil to mark it, just so you can see the angle of this, what I'm doing. I don't want to be right in line with where the spine ends. I want to start just a little bit, maybe like 2 millimeters over, and I'm cutting at a slight angle. And I don't usually mark it with a pencil, I just do it straight with the scissors, right up to where you had the marking. And we'll do that on this side as well. So once you have this marking, this part will get folded in, and then I will fold this portion up. And this is where the spine of the book will go, right on top of that fold. Once you have that, this is the part that will get folded onto the cover of the book. So I hold the book up right on top of that where the two notches are, and just make a crease on each side, just so you have the pages marked in. You can fold this down now at this point to kind of help crease it, and lift this part up, and then do the same thing. As you can notice, this part where I did the notch, it was at an angle. It helps with when you're folding it over so that it goes in properly versus right against the spine. So there you have that part of it. And then you'll notice that I did where the joint is of the two papers, that's gonna be on the back side of the book. This part I will again use double-sided tape. I found that sometimes this doesn't hold as well, so what I'll use is some art glitter glue to help to make sure that it doesn't open up. And it helps if you hold this straight up so that the book doesn't shift. this side, I'll do the same thing. I'll turn the book over and use the double-sided tape. Okay, so that's that portion of it. So as you can see, it's a nice fold right there. Okay, and now to fold this portion of it, I'll just run this double-sided tape all along the edge here, and I fold this in at 45 degrees, and then this will fold over. Okay, so then you have a nice finish here, and then you have nice corners here as well. Okay, and then we do the same thing on this side. This is basically how I wrap all of my books, because then I have a ton of different kinds of pattern paper and I can match it with the design. And it really is simple, just matter of cutting out the notches and then folding over the book. And then once I'm done with that, I'll wrap a ribbon around it or add some kusudama flowers at the top. You can see my video about how to make embellishments and flowers for the book folding in the link right above. I hope this was helpful for your next book folding project. If you have any questions, comment below. Please don't forget to subscribe and share. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.